Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. If you are like me and have experienced a little chaos in your life, I hope that today will be an inspiration and maybe give you some tips for getting through it, because last week, chaos entered the chat at my house. So welcome back to the podcast. And I really want to talk about when things don't go according to plan or when something very unexpected happens, because a lot of times our energy is aligned. When we wake up, we read our affirmations, we're ready to go, we have big dreams, we're taking small steps every day. And then even though we're so aligned and ready to go, boom, chaos hits. And so today I'm kind of sharing from a personal place, because my sweet puppy assistant, Fiona, last week had to have emergency surgery. And this came completely out of the blue. So if you follow me on social media, you have probably seen adorable pictures of my Boston Terrier, Fiona. I call her my puppy assistant. And Fiona, luckily, knock on wood, has always been very healthy. So it was very unexpected last week when she came up and nudged me in my chair. She always does around lunchtime, going, "Are we going to eat lunch? And do I get some chicken?" And so I looked down at her to pet her, and her eyeball, her right eye, had so much swelling underneath it that it was like squishing her eyeball. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? And everyone who has listened to this podcast for any amount of time, I often talk about my anxiety issues, because I feel really strongly like being human is part of our experience. So if you struggle with anxiety too, I feel you. It is the worst. And so anyway, of course, my anxiety comes creeping in going, what is this? But it had come on so suddenly. I took her for a walk that morning. She was fine. Everything was fine. And it was like she woke up from a nap and had gotten in a prize fight with Rocky. I don't know. She had this giant shiner. And so I immediately thought maybe she had been bitten by something and maybe she needed some baby Benadryl. I don't know. But I shook out her bed and there was nothing there. So all of a sudden, all of my to-do list all got shoved to the side because I needed to race her to the vet and they wanted to see her right away. So it turned out that she had cracked a tooth, and apparently dog teeth, which I didn't know, swell up. They can make their whole face swell up very rapidly. And so she needed to have surgery the next day to remove that tooth. And my friends, I was not ready to hear that my dog was going to go under anesthesia. I wasn't ready to hear how much it was going to cost. And none of this was on my plan for the week. Hello, chaos, right? I couldn't plan for it. I couldn't prepare. It was just this moment where everything shifted. One minute, my life was moving along as planned, as usual. And the next, I'm in a completely different emotional space, because of course, we all hate when our fur babies are in any kind of pain and they can't tell us what's going on. You worry, totally normal, anxiety, fear, uncertainty. And it feels like when that happens, all of our perfectly cultivated manifesting practices, they can fly right out of the window, because all of a sudden you're not thinking about the next aligned action. You're just trying to get through the moment. And it is a struggle. And first off, don't beat yourself up for it. It's totally normal. I freaked out too. I think that really part of the reason that we come down here and have a human experience is because of moments like this, because it reminds us how great our life really is, right? If you were always living in a heightened period of gratitude, enlightenment, everything is perfect, how would you know you're having a good day? You wouldn't. You have to have those moments where everything gets kind of thrown in the air, because when you come back down, you can settle back into normal life and have that gratitude. And honestly, peace is not the absence of chaos. I don't believe that that is true. Peace is not the absence of chaos. It is not a perfectly controlled environment where nothing ever goes wrong. Peace is really the ability to take a breath, tap back into yourself, even when everything else seems uncertain. Because I think I've said this before, but peace is actually a choice. It is a state of mind. It is remembering who you are and that you have survived 100% of your bad days. You will get through this day too, right? And that was kind of after the anxiety started to ebb just enough that I could think. I remember telling Ken, my husband, everything's going to be okay. I know it is. And that, my friends, is the beginning of peace. That is when you can stop spiraling and take a breath, ground yourself in the moment, and remind yourself that you're not going to be consumed. Everything is going to be okay. And in those moments, it wasn't about staying positive. It was about being present. I took care of Fiona. She seemed fine. And kid you not, I sent her all kinds of Reiki energy. It's just, if you've never heard of Reiki, it's just healing energy. It's channeling the healing energy of the universe and putting it toward a focused object. It can be your plant, your car, your cat, your dog. Anyway, I sent her lots of Reiki. She came home from surgery, and you guys, within 24 hours, you couldn't tell anything had ever happened to her. Wild. Her healing was so rapid and instantaneous. Her face, all the swelling was gone. She was already eating, didn't seem to be in any pain. It really was a miracle. And I think that part of that was because I was able to, again, choose peace, choose it, because it is a choice. It isn't this magical place that we can buy a ticket and be inside. You have to choose peace when the chaos comes in. I took a few breaths. I shook out my hands like I was shaking off all of this chaos energy and recentering myself in making the choice to believe everything was going to work out. And, it did. And the surgery cost less than what they had told me that it might, which was a huge blessing, huge relief, because this was all happening before payday. It was, it was something an unplanned expense. And, once I got calm that it's all going to work out, everything's going to be fine, you wouldn't believe the windfall that came in the day after surgery. So I managed to cobble it together and get it paid, and the universe paid me back tenfold like the next day. It was amazing. And again, it's because I wasn't attracting more chaos. Have you ever had that moment where one thing goes wrong and it becomes a domino? You go out and your car has a flat tire. And once you allow your vibration to sink down into that fear and chaos level, if you don't dig yourself back out, you start attracting even more things, right? So your day just goes from a flat tire to a dead battery to late for work to getting, reprimanded for being late to work, whatever ends up happening. If you can't find your peace, your vibration stays on that lower level. And again, you are not being punished. It is a magnetic response. Every emotion has a vibration, and fear and chaos it's very low vibration, and it just attracts more things to match that. It's not you being punished. It's just the universe matching what you're putting off. And when you can take a breath, and choose your peace. Remember, I will get through this. I have survived 100% of my bad days. I will get through today too. Everything will be fine. And as soon as you claim that peace, you can watch everything else start to smooth out. It feels magical, but you can do this because your nervous system is part of the process. And I know that, well, I don't know, but I believe that we don't talk about that enough in the manifesting community, that your nervous system plays a huge part. If you constantly live in a state of fear, not only does that issue sink into your tissues and you might have a lot of health issues going on, but it also attracts more things to be nervous, frightened, scarcity, all those it just attracts more of that because your nervous system is putting off the vibration of panic and fear. When something scary happens, of course, your body is going to react. That's not misalignment. It's being human. It's how quickly you can manifest your peace again. It's how quickly you can realize, oh my gosh, I'm spiraling. I need to breathe. Everything's going to be okay. Because when you manifest peace, you are not saying that you're not human, that you're not allowed to be upset. When you're manifesting peace, you are giving yourself permission to regulate those emotions, to regulate your nervous system. It gives you moments of calm in the middle of the storm where you can breathe and you can go, you know what? It's so going to be okay. And you can almost feel your body just begin to settle little by little. I sure did. When I shook out my hands and reminded myself everything is going to be okay. I have had many dogs that I love with my whole heart, and I know everything is going to be okay. I will get through this, right? I had one dog that broke her leg and had to have surgery on her elbow as a puppy. That was very expensive, but you know what? I got through it, and you can too. Peace is really built in those small moments where we're challenged, because how would you know if you had peace if you never faced a challenge, right? So here are some things that I hope will help you when life feels uncertain. Your mind wants answers, but peace isn't really from having all of the answers. It comes from anchoring yourself in what you can trust. I go back to, you have survived 100% of your bad days. You can trust that. You can trust that you will get through this. You know from your life experiences that the sun always comes back out. Right? It will not be stormy forever. And when you can anchor yourself in those kind of truths, it takes away the teeth of the chaos, right? It starts to slide away, and you start to notice your breath, and you start to notice that there's support around you. Ask someone for help. People are always willing to help if you ask. And sometimes just trusting that everything will unfold for your highest good, even when you don't understand how, is so important. Like I said, bizarre twist that I put everything on all kinds of credit cards, and I kid you not, I was able to pay them off the next day. What? I almost felt like this was like a trust exercise from the universe, because it all resolved so quickly once I took possession of my peace again. Once I shook out my hands and said, you know what? I know everything is going to work out. I don't have to know how. Then I could think clearly. I could make everything happen. And the universe came through in the end, which I sort of knew it would. I was able to claim that peace. So think of peace as a practice. Just like anything else we manifest peace as well. We choose it. It's not something that when we, it's not like a coin you can pick up and go, ta-da, I found peace, and then everything resolves. It isn't like that at all. Obviously, my dog still had to have surgery, which was stressful, and I'm still giving her antibiotics, which is not fun. But Peace is something that we choose. We choose it over and over because chaos is human. We always have surprises that come when we're not expecting them, but we can choose peace. We can choose peace when we're in the unknown. We can choose peace just on a regular Tuesday when you are just waiting for things to unfold. You can choose peace in tough moments like poor Fiona with her swollen face. You can still choose peace even in moments that you wish you could just skip, right? So if you are going through something difficult right now, I hope that your guides and angels put this podcast episode in your path, because I hope that maybe you'll find a little nugget of peace for you. Because I know from experience, when something unexpected happens or something tragic or traumatic or heavy happens, I just want you to know that you don't have to have it all together. It is okay to be anxious and scared. It is okay to lose your alignment with your manifesting energy. You don't have to feel all calm all the time, because you are actually choosing peace. And when you get to that moment where you can manifest a little peace, a little bubble of peace where you can breathe, it becomes something you can always return to. It is always there, just waiting for you. And don't feel like if it slips out of your fingers, like perhaps if something had gone sideways with Fiona's surgery, I would have been right back in the eye of that chaos. And that doesn't mean I failed. It just means you are going to manifest more peace, right? Because peace is something that you return to. It is not a constant state of being. It is not a place that we can go to. It's something that we choose moment by moment. So the good news is Fiona seems totally fine, and I am so grateful. Oh my gosh, it was so much fear when I saw her face swollen like that. But this experience I wanted to share because it really is a powerful reminder that peace isn't something that we achieve when life is perfect. When life is perfect, we take peace for granted. We don't even recognize that we have it. Peace really is something that we practice when chaos enters the chat. So if you are out there dealing with a little chaos, Mercury is still in retrograde, hang in there. I am sending you so many positive vibes, wrapping you in so much love and light. And trust me, you have survived 100% of your worst days, and you will get through this too. So take this as your moment, your reminder to just take a deep breath, shake out your hands, and tell yourself, I know that this is going to all work out. You don't have to know how. Just know that it will all work out. That, my friends, is peace.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.